What's up, y'all? It's your brother in the footwork, DJ Cornerstone, and you are watching Give Us the Works on the Foot Workout channel, where I interview various dancers, DJs, and producers. So listen up and pay attention while our guest today gives us the works. Yo! What up, brother Crossfire? What's happening?
Word is up, cuz.
Chilling, bro. Hey, sound familiar? You hear that?
Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, I didn't know you had that.
Bro, I just bought it today. I ain't gonna lie, I just bought it today. Yeah. I figured it'd be a good intro, you know what I'm saying? Set the atmosphere and play one of Crossfire's tracks. Let me pause it over real quick. Turn it down some.
Yeah, that's me and K-Lock. Yep. We made that years ago.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's hit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Might be nice and play this one track I just finished yesterday. So.
Oh, what?
Yeah. If y'all tuned in that live yesterday on Instagram, then y'all would know. Yes. I finished that track.
Straight up. Man, you come out with hot stuff real quick. I don't get to tune in to all your lives. I remember there was one live. It was what you was using, like a Mortal Kombat sample or something a while some months ago. Man, I was like, it wasn't even finished. I'm like, this is already cold. I was like, oh snap. But man, before we get into it, I gotta roll a proper introduction for you, man. Is that all right?
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh man, because I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful. Hey, so check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your brother in the footwork, DJ Cornerstone, and your footwork newsboy. And I'm so doggone excited to announce and for y'all to see that we have with us today on Give Us the Works, the footworker, producer, videographer, and I'm gonna say philosopher and other stuff, man. Give it up for the homeboy, brother Crossfire.
Yo, what's the word and stuff, everybody? This be your boy Crossfire. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's being blessed, you know, striving for greatness, being the best version that they can possibly be. Good for you to have me here, cuz.
Oh man, it's my pleasure, dude. I'm grateful. That's on the real. Hey, but before we, you know what? Because I got a number of questions I'm going to ask you, man. I want to start off with one my son asked me, because my children sometimes they be like, Daddy, who you interviewing? So I was like, yeah, Crossfire. My son was like, man, where did you get the name Crossfire from? What's that for? So what's the name Crossfire? How'd that come about?
It's real simple. When I started footworking, I used to cross my legs a lot. And then my homie, Antoine, we used to call him Mirage. He just added fire behind the fire. And then that's how I got the name Crossfire, because I crossed my feet and they add fire. And that's been my name ever since.
Oh man, well that's dope, man. It makes sense. That's a dope name. Yeah, it explains a part of you.
Oh yeah, and it's been lingering me since. So ever since I started footworking, which was way back in like July of 07. So.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so like, were you one that was taught by somebody in particular? Was you in the crew? Or
Nah, I was self-taught. I was one of those cats that just witnessed footwork in the hoods of out west and in the west suburbs, from West Side to Oak Park to Wood Forest to Maywood and Bellwood. There was a lot of footwork heavy right back then at that time. So I was watching a lot of cats in the streets. I didn't know about no Walla Cam or Four groups till shortly after. But I was mostly working with those that I was surrounded by. So for the most part, I was self-taught and learning as I went along with certain people that I was hanging around with, like Mirage, and then Temple came a little later, He wasn't in no group at the time. Like, we was learning amongst each other and watching YouTube videos to learn footwork.
Yeah, Tempo, that brother cold. I don't know if I've seen Mirage, but I've seen Tempo.
Oh yeah. I can't forget my other crazy ass, my boy BJ. He funny as hell.
Yeah.
And Jason too at the time, the one that does videography with the Era. I started alongside with him too.
Oh, word.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ever work together on videography?
No.
Okay.
At the time, he wasn't doing videography and I wasn't neither. But I just, shortly after I started Footwork, I just picked up the camera and I was self-taught using that too.
Word. Oh, man. Hey, well, I'll tell you what. You do good teaching yourself, man. Because I'm gonna say this. I like to watch video clips of people footworking and footwork battles. But it's some extra when it's you recording the footwork battle. Dude, I'm talking about, I love it, man. Like, I'm like, this dude, your reaction, you be so hyped. Your reaction, man, is priceless, man. It be this, because you be saying what be on people's minds, and it be hilarious. I like how you say it. It's like, it's right on time. So I'm like, man, that's your thing, man.
Y'all gotta be, let me explain this, because there'll be some people that don't like it, but I'm like, yeah, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna tell it how it is, because you gotta remember, I'm a fan and a footworker first before anything. So anything that
can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay,
cool. So what I was saying was, it's like I'm a footworker before anything, and I'm a fan of footwork before anything as well too. So when I see people do amazing stuff on the flow, that makes me go crazy, and that makes me react like, oh my God, like, ooh. You know. So I'm just reacting like, what do you expect? You expect me to just stand there and not have no reaction? Nah, I call them boring, typical cameramen. No disrespect, but I'm like, that's what made me stand out. Like, I want to react with them. I want to react with the people that I'm surrounded by that feels the same expression and reaction as I do. So,
man,
plus, I love hyping the culture up.
Straight up. That's on the real. And you can see it, man. Like, even when I hear you speak, it's always something for the footwork community to think about, something about what's going on, and something to improve it, to further it. So, man, you can see it. Yeah, I'm digging it, man, because I myself love the footwork community too, man. You know, I'm not from Chicago, but I've been like learning and dancing, doing the footwork since like 93, 94. And
yeah, I saw y'all interview with Troy. So that gave me a like, oh.
Yeah.
For you to dance like that, I'm like, bro, I thought you came up around House of Madison to do and you would think that you ain't from here originally. I'm like, oh, okay. But but what I can say is, footwork travels, y'all ain't had internet, but the seed of just one footworker travels. So once it settles somewhere and then it just starts growing, then people don't see it either way. So before the internet, it was just an individual just traveling along, and here comes the seed, and watch it grow. Yeah. So that's what it was. So people to be like, there was never no, I was like, yeah, I get that, but still, culture travels, rather before or after this internet. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. I mean, even take it back to how it was with rock and roll. Started with black people in America, grew, crossed over,
and boom,
and went worldwide.
Look at hip hop.
Yep.
Really starts back as far as 71, not 79, when Footwork was doing parties.
Yeah.
And he was editing, looping certain parts of songs, and then he just rapped over them. That was the seed of what hip hop, of what it is today.
Man, absolutely. And again, like you said, before the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Before the internet. Or better yet, if you want to be technical, before the TV airwaves and y'all era.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's before VHSs. Before
before because the TV was the original computer, technically.
Yeah, that's for real. That's for real.
So it was before it hit the airwaves on TV.
Yeah, you're right on that.
So same way with Footwork before it hit the airwaves on the internet or television. So yeah, man. I mean, that's just what it is, man. It's like certain things. I mean, some people feel like it's supposed to be sacred, but I feel that it's certain things that's just not meant to just stay sacred. It's like, what good is it being sacred if it's not meant to gain some type of exposure to the world, especially if it's something positive at hand at that.
Yep, I totally agree on that, man. And I would say too, as long as people don't culture vulture it and try to take it and claim it as though if they started it and they ain't from Chicago or nothing, as long as they give credit to where it originated and don't try to steal it from the pioneers. You know what I mean?
Now this is gonna be a agree to disagree topic, but
come on with it.
I like, look, man. The only way it is culture vulture is this, and I discovered it. There's two types of culture vultures: in-house, out-house. The worst form of culture vultures is in-house, because they already know the ins and outs of. You got a person that sees how much profit it could be, and then you already know who they are, and they start capitalizing off of y'all, but y'all not thinking about it because it don't change the fact that it's still authentic. Y'all still having a good time. Y'all still, just doing it authentic. Sacred. It's still in sacred, but not knowing that one of your guys or someone that you may know is profiting off you, but you're not caring because you just trying to have a good time. So when that happens, like say for example, a DJ get paid like shit $10 a pop for a show when it's like you're worth more. It's like a lot of DJs and dancers, they've been devalued, but y'all didn't know that because hey, I'm too busy having a good time making the people dance, blah 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 blah, but not knowing you getting paid 10 cents a pop. So here comes the outside culture versus on the outside looking in, watching what's going on for these overseas cats. And the in-house is giving them info on how you could finesse the people here and profit even more, make big bucks. And the person that makes the big bucks is the in-house culture because they told game on the outside culture on how to finesse the people.
Yeah.
So when that happens, I mean, look at house, look at rock and roll. You just said it was a black thing. Look at Lil Richard, how he had to fight for his rights, and him saying he's the architect of rock and roll. Right. Same thing, finesse. And sadly, in some cases, it was by his own people. Shit, all because of the money.
Really? See, I didn't know that about Lil Richard. I thought it was. I think it was on people.
Hell, look at house music. If you seen my interview with Traxman when he said "Get House," say house music, that's the absolute truth. Because at one point when it went worldwide, the big labels wanted to water it down and not give it its purest form, and that was a way of finessing us. It's like we couldn't be ourselves. Same way with hip hop. You hear hip hop today, I can't stand today's raps. They see profit off the ignorance that we speak about. Even though it's an expression, don't get me wrong, but it's like, it don't change the fact that they're profiting off your expression as well as your ignorance of what you speak about in your raps. Rather it's for real or rather you faking it. Profit. So when it comes to this footwork and people talking about all these, I'm like, Brand, before you worry about these overseas cats, worry about the cats at home, because y'all been finessed the whole time in Chicago before these overseas cats did anything, and that's a fact.
Really?
Yes.
Man, we gotta talk more on that, man. But I want to say this, like the folks that I had been able to either watch overseas or talk with, they respected. The ones I talk to, whenever I compliment them or anything, even if it's on Instagram, they'll be like on the lines of, you know, I couldn't do this. All respect to Chicago and all that. They don't ever claim it as though, oh man, I started this. You know, this is my thing. So that's one thing that I appreciate, that they do give credit where credit's due, even though they're doing their thing, which is cool. Like you just spoke to that. They probably making money or whatever, but the ones that I've spoken to, they're at least giving props and not just taking it and running with it as though if they're the creators and they're the founders and stuff like that. So I don't know if
even if they were to claim it, they'll still know what it really is. It's like, look, man, we got documentation, footage, and proof that it all originated here. Mm-hmm. And another thing I want to speak about is, it's like in Chicago, it's a tug of war, because, you know, once footworkers came into place as far as us dancers, and then, you know, the Ghetto House, which became the seed of what footwork music is today, because the elements that you hear in Ghetto House is the same elements you'll hear in a current era of footwork tracks. Mm-hmm. We put our foot down and told people, like, look, y'all not finna finesse us. It's like we saw that, but at the same time in our city, we kick our culture to the curb, because once upon a time, Chicago was such a, you know, like footwork was such a big phenomenon in our city, almost to a point where even the guys from the hood protected us. Like, if they all knew you, they protected you. Like, it kept the hoods together. It was in a sense of unity to a major degree. I saw that. It's like, bro, this is how powerful this culture really is. Hell, even house music, it's all about one love and dance. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we cultivated off that. Like, back then, house music consisted of gays, straights, bis, blacks, whites, Spanish, all people around the world, gangsters, regular Joes, average Joes, preppy people, whoever. Like, once they was in that one room, it didn't matter. It was like, bro, we all got a common cause. We here to express. We're here to show one love through music, and that's house music. And that's historically proven. I think what happened was, over time, as house music became so worldwide, everything got watered down, everything started to segregate. Like, we started staying to our own, and then the same way with these dance crews, as you know, like the House Master Youth, I used the K59s, the main attractions, the Untouchables, and so on and so forth, the Dual Dives. It's like, here comes the formation of footworkers that want to do the battle clicks, and then later on, dance groups started to separate from battle clicks, meaning footwork battle clicks.
Right.
Same as, you know, people don't understand, like, you got the party scene and the battle scene. The battle scene of what we do today came from the party scene, and then that got separated. So we all segregated. And then it all translates to how Chicago is. Chicago is one of the most segregated cities in the United States.
True.
So it's like, that mentality's instilled in us, but we slowly getting back integrated. And that's why I feel like, as you say, part of the reason, like, you speaking culture, because it's like, y'all not too comfortable with, like, because it's like, y'all don't trust them or whatever. But failing to realize, like, look, bro, we only know Chicago. We don't know what goes on in the outside world, but we can't make the assumption that people from a different country or a different city is going to have that type of mentality to finesse us. But don't get me wrong, keep your eyes and ears open, stay cautious at all times. But don't make the assumption instantly like they're going to be on that. Sometimes you got to watch how they move, and then when you see that it ain't right, then you attack them. And trust me, there's been a couple of people that tried to finesse us from overseas, and we put them in their place and they disappeared. And that's what I mean when I say, like, you know, we put our foot down. But we just got to learn when, we just got to know when to pick and to know who they are and when to attack. But in the meantime, you know, I'm not saying keep your guard down, but don't keep your guard up too much neither.
Man, okay. man. You gave me another perspective on it.
Hey man, that's what my footwork rants be about. My experience be different from everybody else. Because when it comes to, like, I listen to behind the names a lot, and this ain't no disrespect to no footworker or DJ, but when they speak on history, they can only speak what they know. And I get that. But when they say like, this is real, I'm like, no, that's your history. That don't mean that it's real. You only know so much based on your experience. The same way I know, there's only so much that I know, but it is between me and everybody else. I try to listen to everyone's aspects, not stick with what I ultimately know and thinking like, yeah, that's the real history. Nah.
Yeah, that's good.
Because there's so many perspectives here in the city of Chicago from each and every individual footworker alone, where it's like there's so much that you can learn and it's very limitless. Like, for an example, say if you were to go to the Union Hall back in the day, there's gonna be different variations of what happened at the Union Hall at that one particular night. Someone say like, yeah, Woodpecker did the woo woo woo. When someone else would say another thing, like, nah, Woodpecker wouldn't know that they got bought up. You know, like, for an example, like different variations, different perspective of how they saw it. As you know, they could be in the same exact spot, but it's gonna be a different version of every story. Is how they're gonna tell it.
Right.
And the closest way for it to be true, and is only if everybody's in agreement, like, yeah, that happened. Like, I was there. And then, you know, another person, like, the majority of people saying it's true, then it has to be true. That's as close as true as it can be.
Yeah, different viewpoints.
I
can see that. Yo, but let's get back into your videography for a little bit, because we're gonna touch on, or try to touch on all bases of Crossfire, man. We trying to learn all about you. So, watching Witness, like, how'd you get started? Like, what's the name Watching Witness? How did that come about?
When I started doing videos, I used to randomly record just random stuff, like people footworking. And then at the time, I wasn't called Mr. Watching Witness yet, but when I started doing these compilations of random videos I recorded, I titled it Crossfire Watching Witness Footwork Stories. So it was like a series. So in a way, that's kind of where I got that name from, you know. But what made it unique, I didn't put the letter A-N, like A-N-D, I just put an N, like watch N with witness. Because it still sounds like you're saying N.
Yeah.
So I didn't self-proclaim Mr. Watching Witness till 2010. Because, you know, I just like to record just people footworking. But what I didn't know as time went on was a whole bunch of footworkers from around the way that was coming up, just I was saying like, look, man, if it weren't for you, a lot of people would not know who I was, and I didn't know I did that. Man. And at the time, Wallercam wasn't around. So, you know, he was good in getting a lot of footwork out, but I think me personally, I just gave that extra push in a sense of like I was more adept in the streets. So I was walking around the hoods of out west and out south, just wanting to record people footwork. I didn't care where it was at.
Yeah.
If I saw footwork, I was gonna record it. It's been times like I purposely left the crib with the camera just to see if anybody was gonna footwork. So that's how I got to it. Then, like I said, I was self-taught. So I had Windows Movie Maker for a long period of time. I think I've had Windows Movie Maker for about 14 years, and then now I'm trying to learn how to use Vegas Pro now. So,
all right.
So yeah, I mastered Windows Movie Maker for a long period of time, and you know that helped too.
Yeah,
as I was using that. So, speaking of which, here's my old camera right here. Since this is the camera that I use.
Oh, okay.
This is my original camera.
Yeah.
I never threw it away because this is my seed of what made watching winners who y'all know of today.
Man, that's gonna have to be in the Footwork Museum one day, man. Shoot, that's dope.
I only use 4 cameras within my recording experience. I lost one of them, but I'm just glad I got my first.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm mad I lost my second one, but I'm glad I have my original.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got meaning to it.
Mm-hmm. It's got a lot of meaning to it. I might start telling people, like, hey, bro, those that was a fan of me, sign this camera.
That's slick. That's slick.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, so you part of Tekk DJz. When did you join Tekk DJz? Like, how did that come about? Did like somebody come up to you, or did you approach everybody?
Well, at that time, I was learning to make tracks with K-Lock. K-Lock had more of a bigger buzz than I did, because I was just starting to learn how to make tracks at that time. And I ain't gonna lie, the 2 people that actually taught me was Young Smoke at first, then it was K-Lock, but K-Lock was more in depth with teaching me. So he was willing to show me how to use a Fruity Loops program.
Yeah.
And all that. Smoke was using Fruity Loops too, but bro was more in depth. But Locke was more in depth with teaching me. So he taught me as much as he could, gave me the basic tutorials on how to use it, and then I just started making tracks on my own. And then let's see if I can remember this, because there was so many twists and turns there. To make this pretty simple, Tracksman been eyeing us, and so was Rashad and Spin. May Rashad rest in peace, man. I missed the big cuz. They was eyeing us, and at that time, like, Tracksman wanted to recruit all the new talent. So the original Locke, well, I think it was like one of the few first people to join Tekk DJz. Then I think shortly after I joined, but that was through K-Lock, made me an official member. And at that time, I was tracking out with Tracksman and my homie DJ Fred.
Okay.
So he was learning how to make tracks too. So then we had this, at one point we had this trio called the CFT, Crossfire Fred Tracksman, or the CFT for short.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. About what year was that?
Ooh, I think it was 2013, if I can remember. Because that was shortly after K-Lock graduated from Columbia. And yes, K-Lock is an actual DJ. He even know how to use 12s, like real 12 deck. He's a real DJ. Yeah. And, at Columbia, he had a DJing class, and they showed him how to DJ for real, not no PDJs. Like, they gave him the best of all worlds of turntablism.
Dang.
So K-Lock actually knows how to DJ.
Golly, god dang, I wish I could have gotten to Columbia, man. Golly, they was teaching the man.
Oh, quick side note.
Yeah.
While we was it, I don't know if you ever heard, but you ever heard the Burnout events? That was me and K-Lock's event, and it used to be free because he was at Columbia, and there was a spot that we could use, and we did downtown events for the footworkers. And I was recording them too. Yeah. Man, it was love, man. Tracksman was there, RP was there, and Rashad and Phil. I was so happy when Rashad and Phil came.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, those cool brothers right there, man. And shout outs to all of them, man. Tracksman, RP, DJ Phil, man. Yeah, that's dope. Man, okay. So one thing, man, I dig about you too, Crossfire, man, is like when you do your lives and you get to speaking on something that might be in your mind, man, like what's dope is like you a real transparent brother, man. That's on the real. Like you'll speak on stuff some people might not even say. But I tell you what, like one time you was talking about like, hey, like this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm going through. You're talking about like the depression and stuff, you know, that you fight. And just kind of sharing like, you know, what kind of happens with it and all that. And one thing I like about it, man, is for one, other people can kind of get an idea on if there is someone that's dealing with it, like how to be more of a, I would say a help, you know, how to like just to know, okay, maybe I shouldn't press on this person right now. Maybe I should give him some space, or maybe I need to go and holler at the person. So that's why I said like philosopher, because you don't just entertain, man. It's like you always trying to teach too, you know. So my question, like on that, like, do you have any? I mean, my idea is like, yes, but do you have any purpose with that? Like anything you're trying to do with that?
No, not at all. Because in all honesty, like, look, I'm not trying to be a part of no programs or be a spoken. I was like, nah, bro, I ain't trying to do all that. I just speak what I feel and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna listen to me. So, but at the same time, it's like, if you do, then maybe I guess I've fulfilled my God-given duties in a sense. You know, because I'm not gonna lie, and I understand that you're not supposed to please nobody for yourself, and you're not supposed to seek an acknowledgement, but I'm gonna call it a spade a spade. Everybody seeks it. It's just that there's a right way and a wrong way. The right way, honestly, is when you least expected it. Because in all honesty, you're gonna do something that's gonna attract somebody. That's just human nature. Yeah. Because what's the point of, because it wouldn't make no sense if people weren't drawn to what you, that's like saying, like, you doing your show here. You're not, of course, you're going to say, like, I'm not trying to attract a big audience, but evidently, people going to gravitate to it. People are going to gravitate to what you're doing. They're being attracted to what you're doing. That's inevitable. Yeah. That's attraction, you know? That's acknowledgement, you know. That's you know, whatever you would like it to be. Like, that's just a part of human nature. That's why I tell people, like, when people be like, man, quit looking for approval. I'm like, bro, everybody want to be praised at some point. It's just, don't demand it. Don't demand it. Just take it when you at least expected it. Because, which also, when I say this, it's like, when I speak on real life stuff, I know nobody ain't gonna listen to me. And that's why I would say, like, once I have a camera, now I'm somebody. But when it's just plain old Isaac Harris, I'm a nobody. And it's factual, because, and I'm not saying it like I want attention. Like, I could care less about that. Because believe it, as quiet as kept, I'm more of an introvert. I just know how to know when to interact and know when to be to myself and not want to be bothered by nobody. But, and this is proven when I say, like, if I were to say some real life messages, like, of course it's going to be ignored, but let someone else, a person of clout, quote unquote, or that's just well known, or celebrity, say the exact same thing I say, now everybody want to listen. And that's factual. Yeah. And I've seen that. And there's been times where it's like, I've pointed out, like, my man just said this yesterday. Y'all ignored him. And I got what he was saying. And he explained it as thoroughly and clearly as he possibly could say it. But then you gonna listen to a rap artist or a person with clout or a person that's well respected or well known or whatever whatever they do, and y'all gonna listen to them. It's like, I find that bullshit to me. Like, I personally feel like, bro, just take the message in all shapes, sizes, and formats from anyone, even from a homeless person. You can learn a lot of real things from a homeless person. But then, you know, people be quick to say, oh, what do you know? That's why you in the predicament where you at. That's not the point, bro. All messages are good messages. You know, the old saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child, so you better take as much advice from any person you interact with, even if they ain't somebody, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, and I'm trying to learn this, but maybe to my caliber, maybe I'm somebody in someone's eyes. So, and I gotta learn that, but it's very difficult to comprehend sometimes.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, man. That's another thing that's dope. What I like is that, for one, you true to yourself. And I remember seeing a post you had on there. I can't remember the picture, but I remember what you typed. It was along the lines of, like, I might not be everybody's favorite footworker.
Oh,
yeah.
On Instagram. Yeah.
But it said, I'm somebody's favorite producer and somebody's favorite videographer. And I like that, because that's like you being you. And then at the same time, whether you're not necessarily telling people this is what you need to do, but people are getting encouraged by that. Because, and I've learned, man, never play yourself short of light, because there's always somebody watching. There's always someone that's looking up to you. So when you're doing something, they're watching everything that you do, and you putting that, I believe, encourage people to be themselves. Because, like, okay, you said you got your Isaac Harris, but then you also Crossfire. You got the person that's watching, man, Crossfire. Just put that on.
They don't know me as Isaac Harris. So, you know, that's why I tell people, like, look, man, the only way that I know you genuinely care for me is, like, people will be like, they call me Crossfire. It's like, if people would have called me by my real name, and I'm like, bro, I'm not offended by you calling me by my real name. And I don't believe in the term government name. I don't like that term. Because I tell people, I'm like, look, the government didn't give me my name. My mama did. The only thing that of quote unquote government is my social security card. That's it. But that don't mean that the government gave me my name. Mm-hmm. So it's like, go on with that. I call it birth-given name. That's my birth-given name. My mama gave me that name, not the fucking government.
That's the truth. That's a good point.
So
I think that's something that's one of those things that folks used to say way back in the day, and then
it's too ignorant. It's too ignorant. But I feel them. But it's like you're showing ignorance saying that. So, but yeah, you know. So when people call me by my actual name, it's a form. I look at it like this. It's like we have a personal relationship. Like, if you notice, for an example, like, I don't call Jerron J-Ron. I call him Jerron. Like, yo, Jerron, what's the word to us, cuz?
Yeah.
Because J-Ron came from solo because he couldn't, you know, it wouldn't make sense in the track. So they took the A off of his actual name, Jerron, and just say J-Ron. Like J and the Ron. But me, when I greet him, I call, yo, Jerron, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, it's a personal relationship, and, you know, he don't mind it because it's like fam, it's like close, and it's like we see each other as human beings besides of our stage names.
Right.
So when people call me Crossfire, it's like I have a popularity as my stage name, but as Isaac Harris, like, I'm a nobody. But then people want to say, like, no, Crossfire, no, like, no, it's not, bro. And it's like, you don't see what I see. I'm silent as when I don't have no camera, or when I be presenting myself in the footwork world. Like, I don't even got to bring a camera at this point. If I were to be at any footwork event, is, yo, Cross, what up?
Yeah, that's real.
Real world is like, violence, and you know, just a regular average Joe. You know, like as they say, take away your stage name. Who are you really? Like, here's a better example. Even for celebrities, you lose all your money, your fame, and all that. Who are you really now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because people sure do turn the other cheek when you ain't got nothing no more.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So
who's really with you, and you don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You going through, find out who's really for you.
That's why in a degree I don't fully believe in people be attention. We all attention seek. We all seek acknowledgement. It's just don't beg for it.
Well, that's it for today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a lot. Hey, but check it out. Support our guest of the day. Our guest information will be listed on the screen. Should be looking at it right now. The social media contacts, the individual's websites and all that. And stay tuned because we will be continuing our conversation next week on Wednesday. Give us the works every Wednesday with your boy DJ Cornerstone. But until then, take care of yourself. God bless you. And Footwork out.
Footwork out. Footwork out.